Let's start with the class. Good morning to all. So last time we were discussing about some some of the application that we practiced according to the questions given in the book. So let's continue with the some more of the topics. So I'll just share my book first of all. So we talked about these things the last time that we need to create a program in Java with where we'll find out the result of the following expressions. The next question is write a program in Java to print the square of every alternate number of an array. Now what we need to do over here is that we need to print alternate numbers of array. Alternate, like if I start with the index number 0, then after that I wish to print the index number 2 will not print the value present at index number 1. So 0 के बाद 2, 2 के बाद 4, 4 के बाद 6, like that, right? So for this you have to create a class. Right now, how do we create that class? We just know it. Like in our case, just right click on the project, click on new, then click on Java class, right? Then give the name to the class and then start up. Like my new class change was the name given. In the main method, what we need to do is, like, if this is an array created, right, int marks, the name of the array is marks, and we have the value 2, 5, 6 and 9 here, right? There are 4 values here. So index number 0 पे 2 है, index number 1 we have 5, and at index number 2 we have 6, and at index number 3 we have 9. The only change, like if I want to print, we use for loop for printing, and we always start from 0. We know that index number starts from 0. We'll take I is equal to 0, and will condition will give is I less than is equal to or less than marks dot length, not equal to I less than marks dot length. So whatever is the length, now we have the length over here as 4. We have 4 items, right? So this loop will start from 0, it will go up to 3. 4 पे यहाँ पे terminate हो जाएगा. 0, 1, 2, 3, these are the index numbers. And to skip one value, what we need to do is we have to add 2 in place of I plus plus. What I plus plus does was, I plus plus क्या करता था, I plus plus is equivalent to I is equal to I plus 1, right? So ये याद रखना है, I plus plus means I is equal to I plus 1, right? So we are incrementing I by 1 in that case. But here we don't want to increment by 1, we want to increment by 2. Why so? Because after 0 we don't want first value, we want second value, right? So index number 0 ke baad we want index number 2 to come. So in place of 1 we'll put 2, right? So that's the updation here. I is equal to I plus 1 will be the updating statement, I plus 2, sorry. And then we need to print the value of I. Now we need to find the square of the value, so we'll multiply the same value by another, the same value again. So we'll put marks I star marks I. So this will multiply that number. Like 2 is there, so it will multiply 2 into 2, will get 4 answer. And if it's 6, it will get 6 into 6, 36 is answer, right? Let's see the output. Now we have run the file, and you see the answer is 4 and 36, right? Why 4 and 36? Because it will pick one first value, 2, index number 0. So 2 into 2 will be 4. Then it will skip this 5, it will go to 6, right? Then 6 into 6 is 36. Likewise, if we have more values here, like if we put 10 here, then 11 here. Now if you run the file again, now it will skip 10, it will give you, right, after 36 it will take 10, तो एक एक स्किप करेगा, 2 के बाद एक छोड़ दिया 6, एक छोड़ दिया 10, likewise it keeps on working and it will multiply the value by itself again. So we'll find the square. Fine. So that's the program for this. Now another program, write a program in Java to create class triangle. Now we need to create a class called as triangle, and we need these data members: base, height, area, and color. The members base, height, area are of type double, and color is of type string. Now write a getter and setter method for base, height, color, and write methods to compute area. Fine. So what we need to do is that we have to create a class. Fine. And that class should have data members as base, height, and area and class, color. So 4 data members we have to set. So base, height, and area will be of double type, and color will be of string type. And then we need to find some getter and setter methods for um, writing the values base, height, and color, reading a values of base, height, height, and color, calculate the area, and then that area should be printed, right? So let's take one small, small example. Let me open up. Okay, let's create one class. First of all, right click, new Java class. The name of the class should be triangle. So we'll write triangle. Right, click on finish. Now the triangle class is made. Now what we need to write here is, first of all, we need this main method. So we'll write the main method, and we know that all main methods are written in inverted. All the things that we write in main method should be in curly brackets. So we'll write everything here. Now first of all, we need to declare 3 data members, that is base, height, area, and color. So it will be double base, double height, and double area, right? And string color. Fine. Okay, before we go further, I'll just move back where we use this getter and setter methods, right? So as you see, and the book itself, this is how we create one getter and setter method. See, this is the output. In the main method, we created one object of the book class with some data values, right? And then we pass on the things to the a method called as display method. Fine. And in that display method, we just calculated all the things related to the table, right? So So this is how we are going to make it. So here also we'll create one object. So the object, for that we need to write let me open that file too. So we have already created that file. Right, so let's use the scanner method. So for that, as we know that we have to import one statement here like this, and then we use the system.in over here inside the method, and then for reading a value we use dot next input dot next. So similarly we'll use this. Enter name की जगह पे यहाँ हो जाएगा base, and the variable name you can also change base, and it should be double type, right? And the problem over here is that double cannot be taken directly, so we'll write double dot parse double, and we'll put bracket to read the value. Fine. Similarly, for reading the height, we'll use another variable height, and this will read the height from the user, right? And before this we again have to put one print statement, enter height. Fine. So then after this we have to just print the files. For printing or to finding the area, we need to have a separate method, right? So user defined method we have to create. So for that we'll write double area, and we'll take double B and double H for heights as a parameter, and in this we will find the area in a variable named double. So we'll put B star H. Fine. So this thing will return the uh, area back whenever required. So here what we need to do is we just have to call the user defined function. So we'll take a double anything like AA is equal to area bracket base comma height. Fine. So this will call up the function. Fine. So base and height, whatever we get from the user, will be passed on to this function, from where we'll get the output whenever required, right? So, and here also we need to return a value. Let's say a. Fine, we are getting one kind of error here. Let's see. Just wait a second. I'll remove all the errors and then we'll move on. Okay, let's run the file. So let's see. Enter base. Let's say I put 12. Enter height. I'll put 45, and the area is 540. Fine. So the output will be shown like this. Fine. There are some things which we haven't done it here, so I'll just rectify this program and then we'll talk about this later on. इसमें कुछ चीज़ें अभी मिसिंग है, जैसे मेथड हमारा रन नहीं हुआ. चलो, anyhow, the next thing we need to do is the next program is to enable user to handle divide by zero exception. This we have already done before, right? So ये examples हो गई. अब इसके बाद the unit 4 is all about integrated work integrated learning in IT. That this program, this unit can only cover up if we know how to connect Java and SQL together. How we can join both the things, and only then we can do. So like there's some project kind of thing given here, so we need to know, like, this is a case study about a shopping website. Now if you want to create a shopping website, XYZ shopping website, how will you create that? So this form we can create in Java and NetBeans, right? So we know that this is text area, and these are the buttons, and these are different labels in which we can put some images, right? So ये सारे specifications given हैं. Based on all these specifications, you have to create this. These are the tables which we need to create in SQL, right? Category नाम का table है, उसके data types ये होंगे, उसमें remarks में what all name of the category, this is the primary key we need to set. So we'll create all these multiple tables for different um, options that we want to use, like all these things. And then this is the working, right? The product belongs to a category, right? And it is offered by the seller, right? So whenever a order is placed, order contains the details of the product. It is placed by the customer, and then the payment is made, right? Customer can also go with wish list option, which is the list of all the products. So this is all interlinked relationship between tables. How do we, these all tables we have to create, and then how do we relate them, right? So this is the functionality. This is the class category that we need to create. Category class. So these are the different categories, and every, this is class product. Then what all things are required within the inserting a product, deleting a product, modifying a product. So एक customized kind of software we are going to make in this. It's a simple application that is basically created for the users, for the market, right? A seller की class है, seller से related functions, right? This is a login page which we need to create. User ID and password we have to set, and there's a sign up option also where user can enter their details and create a new password and account over here, जैसे हम नॉर्मल बनाते हैं जीमेल वगैरह का. इसके लिए ये दो मेथड्स हैं कस्टमर के, इंसर्ट कस्टमर एंड मॉडिफाई कस्टमर, right? Then this is the wish list, how to insert a wish list, how to delete something from the wish list. We have some sort of network trouble today, that's why it's disconnecting again and again. So likewise, I was talking about these are all different things that we need to create. You can imagine एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनाना है तो कितनी सारी क्लासेस, इतने सारे कंसेप्ट बनाने पड़ते हैं. उसके बाद हम टेबल्स भी बनाते हैं, फिर हम उनको रिलेट करते हैं, right? So this unit is all about how to create such applications, right? बाकी इसके बाद आपका ये अपेंडिक्स है. देन दिस विल हेल्प यू हाउ टू इंस्टॉल NetBeans सॉफ्टवेयर और हाउ टू इंस्टॉल MySQL also. So it will give you some details about that. So that's it. Our syllabus of Java is all over. We left with only one thing now, how to connect Java and SQL. So database connectivity जो है वो हमारा topic एक रहता है. Now in this, I'll just give you a brief idea कि how do we connect it. So what we need to do is NetBeans को register करो और SQL server के साथ connect करने के there are some steps. Then for that we have to go to the services tabs of the NetBeans. Like ये services tab है, यहाँ पे register MySQL server का option आता है राइट क्लिक करने पे databases में. ठीक है, सर्विसेज टैब के अंदर आपको डेटाबेसेस मिलेंगे, जैसे ये दिखा आपको. राइट क्लिक करेंगे तो रजिस्टर माई सिक्वल सर्वर पर क्लिक करना है. देन this is by default and you just have to write your that password जिससे आप SQL ओपन करते हो. तो जो आप SQL इंस्टॉल करते टाइम पासवर्ड बनाते हो ना, दैट पासवर्ड यू हैव टू एंटर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर पासवर्ड एंड देन क्लिक ओके. In the same SQL Server Properties dialog box, click on Admin Properties. There's an option there called as Admin Properties. You can see there on the top, right? There's another tab for that. उसमें path to admin tool field. So there you have to specify that to which path that file, admin file is lying, right? Then browse for the location of the administration path. This is the name of the file. You have to look for that path. By default, it is in C drive, program files, MySQL / MySQL server, with the version है /bin / that file. तो ये आपको ये डिफ़ॉल्ट लोकेशन होती है. बाकी अगर आपने कहीं उसको मूव किया है, फोल्डर्स कहीं और बनाए हैं, तो देन यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट दैट फ्रॉम ब्राउज ऑप्शन, राइट? सो it will try to locate that file. This file, my SQL admin, this is the name of that application which you need to connect. Then path to start command, उसमें MySQL D ये एक फाइल है. It- this you have to locate. And it's again in C drive, program files, MySQL server 5.6 bin. तो ये मतलब इसका बात है कि आप सी ड्राइव में जाओ, उसके बाद प्रोग्राम फाइल्स में जाओ, उसके अंदर MySQL फोल्डर होगा, MySQL फोल्डर के अंदर MySQL सर्वर और जो भी वर्जन है वो लिखा होगा, उस फोल्डर में जाओ, उसमें एक बिन फोल्डर होगा, बिल के अंदर ये फाइल होगी MySQL LD, MySQL D. So select that file, and similarly there's another path to stop the command. This is to start the command, this is to stop the command, this is for the where the tools are lying, right? Admin tools are lying, right? So again then you have to locate it from the same folder. It is again ये तीनों file bin folder में होती है, so you have to locate and then click. Then arguments may you can type -u root stop. This is how we can grant permission for stopping the server, right? So this argument you have to write over here, and then click OK for setting up all these properties. So MySQL server should now appear under the database nodes in the server tab in this. So wherever you'll find projects में आपको वहाँ पे database tab मिलेगा, उसके अंदर आप सर्वर देख सकते हो लोकेटेड होगा, राइट? और ये डिस्कनेक्टेड होगा, जब आप कनेक्ट करोगे उसके बाद ये कनेक्टेड आएगा. So you can locate MySQL server is written in that database link. Fine. Now to connect, right click that particular server name, वहाँ पे connect option है, आप उसको select करो, connect option को, right? Then it will start running the MySQL server. So once the files are running, and it will all try to connect it through the NetBeans IDE. And if it is not connected, then start the SQL server by running MySQL command from the bin folder. So go to the bin folder, there's MySQL command line CLD, MySQL D नाम से उस फाइल को डबल क्लिक करो, so that he can do this again. So again you can practice, redo it whenever it is not connected, right? When the server is connected, you'll see the removed, that disconnected part will be removed, and we'll get this link, MySQL server at hotspot, a local host at this particular port. This means the server is connected, and what all type of databases lying in SQL database will be listed. ठीक है, ये लिस्ट तब होगी जब यहाँ पे ये माइनस साइन है ना, यहाँ पे प्लस साइन होगा, क्लिक ऑन दिस, विल गेट द लिस्ट. Now you can see all type of databases here, right? So this is how we can connect, right? So once the connection is established, then you have to add up folders and add up libraries. एंड वो लाइब्रेरीज वाला एक फोल्डर होता है, हर जब भी आप प्रोजेक्ट बनाते हो वहाँ नीचे एक लाइब्रेरीज फोल्डर होगा, वहाँ पे राइट क्लिक करना है, ऐड फोल्डर पे जाना है, एंड देन फाइंड आउट द नेविगेशन इंस्टॉलेशन फोल्डर. एंड ये आपका पाथ है, IDE फोल्डर में जाओ, उसमें मॉड्यूल्स फोल्डर होगा, उसमें EXT फोल्डर होगा, और ये वाली फाइल को आपने सेलेक्ट करना है. दिस फाइल इज टू बी कनेक्ट सेलेक्टेड. Agar this file is not there in the list, then you have to download this file and then click on open button, right? So this will connect to your, they see MySQL connector.java is written. So this file is there in the library. That means you have not connected to your both NetBeans as well as your SQL servers are connected, right? It shows in the libraries. Now the next thing is how do we handle this thing, connection कैसे handle करते हैं, उसके लिए commands हैं. So ये commands आपको practice करनी पड़ेंगी. For see, database connectivity, it looks a bit difficult because the commands look a little difficult, but the only thing is you just have to go through all these things or go through all these steps, and you have to write all these things as per the requirements of your project. Like this is one demo given here, that in the main method string db URL, this is db URL is the location of the database which you are having, right? Then username is root and password is root. This is default names. You can change your names also. Then we put try catch condition because अगर कोई exception आया तो एक message generate होना चाहिए. और उसमें हम this is the how do we connect database. This is the statement which actually connects. So db URL will be called, username and password will be matched, right? So this statement, this is create statement which help us to create a link, right? And then result set is used to find out the result of the query that is added, right? तो ये स्टेटमेंट्स कैसे लिखते हैं, क्या लिखते हैं, दैट विल डिस्कस एट लेटर एंड. So the main thing is that these are the steps which we should know how to connect both the things. After this, whatever we do here in the coding part will help us to find out the answers as per the requirements of the project. Fine. So once everything is done, then you can disconnect the things as you can see here. So the data present from the database is shown here in NetBeans. ये database में से डेटा उठा के उसने प्रिंट किया है, ठीक है? तो ये प्रिंट कैसे कर रहा है, गेट स्ट्रिंग मेथड्स हैं likewise. So this statements you have to write. Although don't worry about this statement looks little difficult, but this portion is not directly asked in practical parts also. It's also not directly asked in the exams, right? इसमें आपको ये टेक्निकल जो हमने अभी डिस्कस किया, ऊपर जो स्टेप्स डिस्कस किए टू कनेक्ट द थिंग्स, दी स्टेप्स आर more important. These programs will not be asked in this case, in this chapter, in this topic, right? So ये आपका basically सिर्फ और सिर्फ projects वगैरह में use होगा. Like at the end of the year you have to show, create two files. One is for project and one is for practical file. The practical file will have all sort of practicals that we do every in the full session, and the project file will have this. जैसे हमारा लास्ट यूनिट में एक प्रोजेक्ट दिया हुआ ना, वैसे आपको एक प्रोजेक्ट बनाना है. उस प्रोजेक्ट में हम कनेक्टिविटी शो करते हैं, और कहीं भी आपको इसके रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते, बहुत रेयरली इट लास्ट, right? So don't worry about this topic. This looks a bit difficult because these commands are really tough to remember, but there's nothing much in this. Fine. Fine. So that's it from my side.